You must be pleased with Chase Smith's performance last year. You were on Island, giving him some tips on how to improve strength and conditioning, as well as his speed work, and I guess it all came together, and he showed well in the Front Street Mile.
Under the conditions, I'm very pleased with his performance. You as well, you were there. It was rain and stormy kind of conditions, and he still ran a PB 420, and he was able to hang in there with the big boys. And I'm pleased with what I saw, and there's still a lot more work to be done on him. But the work that needs to be done is quite simple, so it's not that much of a drama for him to improve that.
Now, obviously, when you first started helping out Chase last year, you were trying to instill in him that it was some hard work that had to be done and some discipline needed. What were some of the things that you've done to improve his technique and his physique for running?
Oh, basically, all what I did together with his father, who was his coach, is pretty much explain to them the importance of running track, and helped him with his experience from college days to transfer that to being a professional athlete and making the next move. And we just did a lot of track training and taught him how to run on the track and use the speed of the track and the frequency. And it was clear to see during the Front Street Mile that that frequency, that speed was in there. And yeah, if there's anything else he needs to improve on, it's just that, and he told me this yesterday, he just needs more competitions. And what I mean competitions is if he could run at a level that's just above his, in an 8 and 15 every other week, 8:15, 8:15, 8:15 for 2 months straight, he's got it. That's basically how the Ethiopian guys pretty much outclassed him. His strength is good, his speed work is good, the frequency is good, but you need every day. You need it. It has to be worked every day. And if he has that every day running in a track meet every weekend and training and racing, training and racing, you're looking at a guy who could do some fantastic things.
Now, I know you've also done some work with both national football team and national cricket team. So what are some of the things you were trying to put together for them? Obviously, teaching them the proper way of running, which can help a lot of areas.
To me, it sounds like running. It's a good way. It's good that you said that.
Right.
But through my experience in the last 7 years in the Netherlands, I've had the privilege of working with some great footballers who've played Champions League and top scorers in Holland, top scorers in Spain, and they come to me for one thing: speed and strength. And in the process of developing the speed and strength, I discovered athleticism. And what I mean by athleticism is the natural athletic ability. And many athletes are not aware of the athletic ability. And in that period, it took me 3 years to design a program. And I'm glad that one of the guys was willing to be my test dummy. And we worked all summer on that together with the guy who does judo. And the funny thing is, those guys went into the football season and the judo season, and I actually saw the athleticism together with the skills of judo, of the skills of football, and it proved my point. So what I mean by athleticism is being able to move from out the hips, use the functional movements. I know these are sports terms that people are not used to, but these are being able to move from the hips and more fluent and free and easier, and learn how to be explosive and elastic at the same time. And that's what I pretty much develop in most sports when it comes to sports like football and cricket. And that's what I was pretty much trying to get my point across in, which was very, very good, to be honest.
Now, you had 4 Olympic appearances under your belt. 2012 Olympic year. What can some of the first timers that will get the experience in London? What would that feeling be like? Take us back to your first time.
Kid in the candy store. All I can say is it's a kid in the candy store. You're gonna be nervous. Don't try to hide the nervousness. Let everything that you feel inside you, let it happen. That's what Nick told me. Nick said, "Dog, this is going to be the experience of a lifetime. So let it happen." And all I can say to them is the same thing Nick said to me. Nick Saunders says, "Let it happen. This is what you worked hard for. And the minute the flame goes on, that's the minute dreams are made and dreams are broken. And no matter what, if it doesn't work out the way you want, at least you know what you got to do in the next 4 years to make that better." So I say whatever emotion you go through, whatever you see, whatever you feel, do it, enjoy it, and get it off your chest as soon as possible. When it's time to get down to work, get down to work, because I think what a lot of people don't realize about the Olympics is one of the rare occasions where you are in the presence of other great athletes. And you could easily become a tourist, or you can easily become one of the best. And it's if you ask any Olympian who's done more than 3 Olympics or 2 Olympics, they would tell you the same thing. You could distinguish the tourist and the best, and you would find yourself going to either way. And most guys choose the path of, I want to try to win. And I always say, take the first 2 days to get it out of your system, and observe everything around you. And if you see somebody who you think is going to be Olympic champion, observe them. Try to get into the aura, and try to use that aura to make your aura better. And that's the only advice I can give to young athletes.
Now, give us your most memorable moment at the Olympics, for you, yourself, personally.
I think it was my last Olympics was pretty much fun, because we went in to run the 200, and we ended up making the semifinals for the 400, and I haven't even trained for it. We only did the 400 just to have fun. And I got to the semifinals and I ran a big old PB. And I didn't expect to run that fast of a time. But at the same time, I knew I could make the finals to the 200 meters. But when I got to the quarterfinals and I got knocked out in the quarterfinals of 200 meters, after the race I knew exactly what happened. And I went to my coach and he was so upset that he felt like, I let you down. I said, why you let me down? Because I made you run the 4 instead of just letting us focus on the 2. And that was my only chance I felt for myself of making a final, of even getting close to a top 5. And that was my goal. And I was disappointed in it, but I learned a valuable lesson from it, you know. And that lesson was that my coach and I, we both took the risk, and we both took the responsibility for the risk we took. And it brought us closer together, and it taught me a lot, and it helped me today as a coach. So I'm glad that happened to me in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, for spectators-wise, London 2012, just like Atlanta was a stone throw away from Bermuda, 1 flight away. Mm-hmm. For someone going over there, what could they expect to see?
It's a spectacle. It's the event of this year. It is the most talked about event this year. It's been hyped up for the last 4 years. Every city wants to make it special. You're going to see venues, you're going to see people, you're going to see the whole city is going to be involved. It's going to be, they call it us. It's our games, and that's what the Olympic Games is for a country like England. And in London, it's going to be their games, and they're going to open their arms, and you're going to see and experience things that you never experienced before. I've never been outside of being an athlete. I hope to qualify this year with the national relay team. And but I would go too focused in. I'm too much of a coach when I go in. So the things that go on outside of there, I see it, but I don't pay attention to it. But it's a spectacle. It's going to be as a spectator, it's one of the best things you could see and experience. And you go out there and you're going to see a hockey game or a tennis game or a football game. You know, if anybody asks me what should they go see outside of the 100-meter finals and the 4x1 and the 4x4 finals, I would tell people to go and watch the football. Go and watch the men's football. What you see is whoever wins that Olympic gold medal, that's the next world champion. That's my experience. I remember when I was in '88, I saw the Argentina football team. In '92, I saw the Ghana guys. And then in '96, you see the US football team, and then you see the Brazilian football team. And also in Athens, the same thing. I say go watch football, because you're going to see some young guys. I remember watching Lionel Messi at the Olympics. You're like, wow, this guy is going to be something. And you see that, you know, 8 years later. So I say go watch football. It's worth it.
All right. One last question about the how's the training going for the Dutch national?
We have our ups and downs. We're going to training camp in April. We're going on to Claremont, Florida for 3 weeks. And we're going to train during the week, race weekends, train during the week, race weekends to iron the kinks out. Because for us to qualify, it's going to be a tall order. We have to qualify for the top 12. And the only chance to really do that is at the European Championships, which is 3 weeks before the Olympic Games. So the pressure's on. And a colleague of mine in the Netherlands says always to me, I hate you because you love the pressure. And yeah, I thrive under pressure. So I'm looking forward to the next 4 or 5 months of preparing for the Olympic Games with the national relay team. We pick up things in March, so it's going to be fun.